My name is Jane. This was my story of my life. Let's start for this. Chapter 1. Jane. Get up! My mom shouted from downstairs, making me groan before getting up from my princess bed. I was officially turning 10 today, and I was going to have a huge party with half the school here in my house. I wasn't popular, if that's what you were wondering. No, my mom just wanted to show off her newest mansion to all her friends, which consisted of half the school, if not all the school was going to be here. I really don't like parties much. I'm usually a shy girl around people, so I just have my best friend Marissa with me. We stick together. I for one try to avoid kids that like to think that they are above everyone else. But that was my life, consisting of only one best friend and a teddy bear that I named Momps. I know, it's a weird name, but I like it. Momps was always by my side whenever I felt sad. You see, my dad passed away when I was 2 years, so I really don't have any memories of him. But I do have a picture of him placed right next to my bed. But everything changed when my mom met John, my rich stepfather. He was nice and spoils me a lot, but never tries to take my dad's place. Instead, he tells me about him and how they both met during college, but never talked since then until he found out that my mom married him. But life goes on, whether I like it or not. I went to the bathroom and changed into my princess outfit and ballet shoes when my mom walked in the room with an excitement look on her face. Everyone is here now, Jane. Now go and say hi to everyone and be polite, she said. Mom, can I play with Momps after? I asked, giving her puppy eyes. Not right now, Jane. We have guests. Oh, and I invited the Roberts over. They just moved here from Alaska. So go and say hi to them and their son Alexander, she said, giving me a warning look. She knows that I'm too shy to say hello to the crowd that is waiting for me outside, and to add on top of that, I'm supposed to say hi to strangers. Great. I rolled my eyes slightly, not letting her see me, and walked outside my room, heading downstairs to the garden. I was shocked to see the garden decorated with pink balloons and a huge birthday cake with my name in it and the number 10 right next to it. Everyone was talking, and a few kids were having punch, and some were running around like maniacs. But my gaze averted to a couple that was talking far away from the crowd. They looked weird. I could see a few women whispering and talking about them in hushed voices, and a few others staring at them. They must be the new family that just moved here. I thought, deciding whether or not to go up there and say hi to them. I looked behind them and I saw a boy about my age playing with a car toy. He looked cute, black hair and big brown eyes. But what surprised me the most was that they were too pale. I mean, this is Seattle. It rains a lot, but still people weren't that pale. I just stood there when all of a sudden the boy looked up and smiled at me. Our eyes met for a minute. I felt butterflies in my stomach. He must have felt the same, because he turned around immediately, realizing that I was still staring at him. I turned around blushing. I was about to turn around when I heard someone said, "Happy birthday." I turned around and saw the boy Alexander, I think, standing in front of me, carrying a small box with him, wrapped up in pink paper and a small bow on top of it. This is for you. Hope you like it, he said, a bit shy. His cheeks were burning red and he was trying not to make eye contact. Thanks, I said, reaching out to get the box from him, and for a moment our hands touched. I felt a strange feeling go through me. So, I just grabbed the box from him as fast as I could. He must have felt the same too, because he looked away right away. Oh. So you met Alexander already, I heard my mom said, coming from behind me. I looked back to the boy and saw his parents now behind him. How did they got here so fast? You must be the birthday girl, said a woman, which I presume was Alexander's mom. I nodded. Happy birthday. Thanks for inviting us, and we hope you like your present, a male voice said. I looked up and saw a very tall man smiling at me. I immediately hid behind my mom, wanting to go back inside with Momps. It was a pleasure. Now we're going to cut the cake. Come on, Jane, my mom said, holding my hand and guiding me towards the crowd. I looked back and the Roberts were walking right behind us. Alexander was next to his mom, holding his car in one hand, while using the other to hold his mom's hand. There was something odd about them, though. Something that I couldn't quite understand. They were just different. Jane. I heard someone screamed my name from far away. I turned around and saw Marissa running towards me carrying a huge purple birthday bag. I smiled. "Hi, Marissa," I said, waving at her. "Happy birthday," she said, handing me the bag. "Thanks. What's in the bag?" I asked, smiling. "Oh, it's a new doll, since you like to collect them, and a new book," she said, grinning at me. "Thanks," I said, giving a hug. The party went well. I ate cake and played with a few girls that I met along with Marissa. And for the rest of the party, Alexander was alone playing with his toy. I catch him staring at me once, but went right back to play with his car. His parents were talking to a couple while my mom was entertaining her friends. By the time everyone left, my mom was directing the cleaning crew to take my gifts to my room, and some were now cleaning the garden. "It's time for me to go. I'll see you tomorrow," Marissa said, giving me one last hug before leaving with her parents. "Jane, go and play with Alexander. He has been all alone for the entire party." "I'm going to go talk to his parents now," my mom said. I was currently in the living room playing with Moms. I looked to my right and saw Alexander sitting on the sofa, with his head down playing with his hands. He looked lonely and scared. I got up from the floor and went up to talk to him. "Hi," I said. He looked up and smiled. I blushed. He had the most beautiful smile I've ever seen. "What's his name?" he asked, looking at my teddy bear. "His name is Mom PS. Do you want to play with us?" I asked. He smiled and nodded. We became friends instantly. He was always at my house after that night, playing with me and Marissa. Our parents were very close now, and they seemed to have fun together. It wasn't long until we started going to the same school. We played and studied together. It was nice to have him around all the time. Marissa was sometimes away with her parents, so I stayed with Alexander most of the time. We were now in the living room area playing goldfish and having ice cream. "Can I have some?" I asked. He was having vanilla ice cream and I was having chocolate chip ice cream, but I liked both and I wanted some of his ice cream now. "No." "Why?" he said, holding his cream tightly to his chest. "Because I want some, please," I asked nicely, giving him a smile. He looked at me for a few seconds, just staring at me. I felt weird, like a force trying to pull me to him. He got closer. I glummed, trying to blush. His face was inches away from mine, and our gaze was still intact. "Jane." I heard my mom scream from the kitchen. I gained back my control and stood up quickly, leaving Alexander alone in the living room. I felt my heart accelerating, going faster and faster, but I knew that it was probably nothing to worry about, so I let it go. After that night, Alexander started to change. He got more playful and started to tease me, always grinning or smirking at me. I felt myself blushing every time he got closer, but I always pushed him away. Our friendship was growing stronger. He was the best guy friend that I've had. Everything was perfect. But that was until I turned 12, when my life changed. It was my birthday today. And once again, my mom invited half the population this time. The house was packed with kids and their parents. It was overwhelming. As always, I was with Moms in my room playing with Marissa when my mom knocked on the door. "Come in," I said. "Jane, everyone is waiting for you," she said, giving me a disappointed look. "I'm coming." I got up, and so did Marissa, and we went downstairs. "Jane," Alexander said, coming toward me, giving me a hug. "Happy birthday," he said, handing me a small box, just like the one he'd given me when I turned 10. The past present was just a golden bracelet. It was unique, and I wore it every day. I opened the box to find a small charm in the shape of a heart. "It's awesome. I love it." "Thanks," I said, smiling. "It goes with the bracelet that I gave you before," he said. Marissa had already left to go get a piece of pie, so I was left alone with Alexander now. I looked up at him and saw how cute he was and how fortunate I was to have him as a friend. "Come on, I want to show you something," he said, leading me outside to a secret garden that I had on my backyard that only him and Marissa knew about. I nodded and followed him. "What is it?" I giggled when he took my hand. We sat down looking at each other. I need to tell you something, he said, looking a little bit nervous. What is it? I asked. Jane, I love you, he blurts out. His cheeks automatically turned red. I was shocked. Did he just said that he loves me? I froze, not knowing what to do. He stared at me for a moment. Then, without any warning, he leant forward to kiss me. His lips felt soft against mine, and the whole world around me turned into different colors. He just gave me my first kiss, I thought, while he stepped back. I didn't know what to say or do. It all happened very quickly. Jane, there is also one thing that you should know about me. I am a vampire, he said, looking down. He was a what? I'm a vampire and I'm in love with you, Jane, was the last thing I heard before passing out.